Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship here live at Circuit de la Sarthe, rather known as Le Mans in France. I'm your host and main commentator for today's race, STM_RRDZ, and I'm joined today by a very, very special guest here today with me, and that would be none other than ST Viper. And ST Viper, welcome back to the commentator's box after what we had a very exciting set of races at the Nürburgring, and I guess you are ready to continue that trend here at the Circuit de la Sarthe, of course. Yeah, unfortunately, we only have about 5 members, and unfortunately, we had Mushalat, who had won a couple of races this coming season, but unfortunately, he's unfortunately withdrawn out of the league and out of sim racing entirely. So we do wish Mushalat the best of well. And qualifying is going to immediately go into action, not even going to get the time to go down the entry. So we are going to only race with 5 people. So let's see how this goes. As a matter of fact. Yeah, I think these guys are only going to get about 2 laps, so I just say get immediately straight on out if you can. And these guys, there's Bar, and then there's there's Bar, and then there is Death Spawns, who makes his second appearance of the season after first running at the Rebel Ring, and then also another withdrawn entry as well as a matter of fact, SMJT in the blue number 30 Corvette has unfortunately withdrawn, and there's already a scramble going on for qualifying. Oh, yes, you're right. Whoa, and I think that might be a penalty indeed for Despon. So these guys, if they want some clean room, I think they're just trying to play the slipstream game here, of course, because these Mulsanne straights can absolutely pay major dividends. And look at that. We'll go on board now with the bumper cam of Despon in the Toyota Supra. Yeah, he's backed off a little bit, so we are going to go back with Despons on that once again. And so Bar 27. Yeah, we'll go on board with the American in the Chevrolet Corvette C7 GT3R as he goes to the end of the long Mulsanne straight, now down, beginning the road towards Indianapolis. And he's really trying to get that slipstream as he can, just to stay close as he can. He doesn't want to lose too much time to that Supra, which, like I said, is very, very good in a straight line. I think that Corvette is definitely going to benefit from that on his 2 qualifying laps, or even 1 qualifying lap if he's able to. And we'll go on board now with the championship leader, Durdude, in the Aston Martin, who has had an incredible season thus far. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to the championship standings right now, since we do have a couple of withdrawn entries right about now. For in terms of the Pro-Am standings right now, Durdude, at the moment, with 149 points, and Chris Crow is only in 2nd place, which is his teammate, which is in 114 points. And Bar 27, who now theoretically takes 3rd place in the standings, has 82 points. So a major deficit for the guys behind. Dude already looking to steal up the Pro-Am Championship. He's just got to take this one very, very consistently. And also, a matter of fact as well, his only race start his only missed start of the season was Bathurst, and ever since then he has finished on the podium 7 times this season, and we are on round number 9. So of the 7 races that Dude has done, he has finished on the podium every single time. So he's had an incredible season to boot as well, including 3 wins, including his last race win, which was at Monza. And so yeah, Chris Crow in the Porsche curves. No, that's Dude who's going to get ready for his final lap. So the championship winner, oh, a big tank slapper out of the final corner, or out of the 4 chicanes, I should say, and he will start his first flying lap of the day so far. And also, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I also would just like to confirm that so when the championship concludes here, including the GT3 and the MX-5 Cup Championships, I would like to announce that I will be back in the commentator's box for the next season of League Racing in the Straight Line Motorsports League, wherever the admins and the drivers decide to go. And of course, that will provide some very, very good action as well. Yes, he has. So that Corvette, that American who's really trying to push. I mean, I don't think he has much going into for the Pro-Am Championship, but if he can knock out a good couple of results, there are only 4 more race weekends here in this championship. So he will have to try and do something to try and get something going for this 27 Corvette. As a matter of fact, Patrolhead, who is his teammate, has also withdrawn out of the list. Also, K&K Dot has also withdrawn out, as he cannot make any more races this coming season. So unfortunately, we are in that final third of the season, but in terms of getting numbers, we might have something going forward in terms of drivers. So who knows? We may have something going forward. It's only just a matter of time until the league ends, and then what will we do for our next championship, of course. Yeah, and so we're getting about a couple people to join in on the broadcast, so we welcome everyone into the broadcast, and please, if you would like to share your thoughts and opinions in the live stream chat, we are looking forward to answering those and giving you guys feedback on that as well. So Bar 27, oh, and a big tank slapper through the midway through Indianapolis. Now he's going to be going towards the right-hander, which will take him up to the Porsche curves. Of course, the Corvette having a lot of history and heritage here at Le Mans. Their last win, of course, coming at 2015 with the Corvette C7R. And so, go ahead. Yeah, so the Corvette racing family have had a lot of heritage going into Le Mans, and of course Barr would be absolutely thrilled to get a win here in the American Corvette. As a matter of fact, yeah, someone's hit the wall. Oh, I thought someone hit the wall. That is Death Spawns, who is in the Toyota Super GT3, and so he will be the first one to set the benchmark lap, and there will only be a total of 10 times, so the first out of 10 times will be coming in, as a matter of fact. So what will Death Spawns do to set the benchmark in the turbocharged Supra? It's going to be a 3:57.974. That's actually a very good lap for the Supra. Oh, Barr's had a big moment, and that's going to compromise this lap and the next lap because that is coming out of this lap, so that's a 9-second deficit. What will the championship leader Durdu do in this Aston Martin? He's not had a good lap, as a matter of fact. In fact, he's 2.6 seconds off. And there is Iapez, who's also got a 1.2 second penalty as well, so this is not good news for him. Yeah, he's going to serve this penalty right now, as a matter of fact. He's not going to get the best run. So there he goes now. It's a 4:12, so that's 15 seconds off. And Chris Crow, a slow lap for him as well, so it is all over the place. Chris Crow will get third. So barring Iapez, the two Americans, 4th and 5th, Despons will inherit pole position at the moment, but he's got 4 more times to withstand and set his one final time for 5 more times. Oh, and that's Despons, who's actually parked it up, so he's feeling fairly confident about that lap. So Despons, he will take the pole position, but he's got 4 times to try and hold it out. Does he actually? Let's see here. Yes, he does. Oh, now he's got a 1-second penalty, so this is not good news for bar 27. So it's getting more and more difficult for this driver. And if my memory serves me correct, Durdude is hot on his tail, so yeah, so a 4-minute dead .657. So yeah, unfortunately, it's not the best. We've had better attendance earlier in the season, but unfortunately, as we move on, we have to obviously move forward. And oh. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, there are some limitations that we can answer, unfortunately, as far as going into the streamers, but we don't want to spoil, we don't want to spark a wildfire going into the comments section, but, you know, as we move on, we have to move forward. Yeah, see here, SLM Polymer, let them race even if there aren't many drivers. That's exactly what we wanted to do. See, that's kind of the thing, of course. You know, sometimes you have to throw attendance out the window and you just have to let the guys race. If they really want to race, then let them do it. You can't stop them, obviously, and take away their fun. They put in the hours of practice, they put in the time of practice, and obviously they have to do what they feel is necessary, so. Yeah, Durdude all of a sudden is in ghost mode, so he's not putting in an effort this lap. So, Bar with a 1.2. Yeah, Bar's trying to serve that penalty, but I don't think it's going to be much because Despons has a very, very sizable margin. I think Bar is going to get another penalty as well to boot on top of that as well. So, Bar 27 will be the first one to come across the line. He will better his time, but not position-wise. So, Chris Crow will inherit third. Who is that coming by now? It will be Durdude, but of course Durdude is going to just... Yeah, he will settle it for second place. So Chris Crow, and he's in ghost mode too, so I'm not 100% sure what is going on. And so, yeah, so one more time here, James Head. Oh, will Iapez go across the line? Oh, he's binned it! Oh my gosh! And that's really unfortunate for Iapez. And even on trash control too, which is kind of unfortunate, so that's kind of bad. So Despons, who's gone on the sake of liberty to finish this lap, will inherit his first pole position in the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship. Yeah, very, very good. So James Hay here, please keep it clean on stream, guys. We all here for the same reason to watch great action despite the lack of attendance. Thank you for these people who just say, you know, sometimes you just decide to say, screw the attendance of what you get. You take what you get and you enjoy what you get. So, of course, you know, me being me, you know, there have been times where it's like I've seen 6, 7, you know, excuse me, 5 races as well. You know, let the show go on. Matt Finn says, if your brother is commentating, CJ, we can't hear him. I should be able to hear you. Let the show go on. Hold on. Matt Finn says, if your brother is commentating, CJ, we can't hear him. They can barely hear you, CJ. Right. While that is being sorted out, the grid, Death Spawns, Dirty, Christopher Crow, Bar, and Iapez for 5 drivers to take on 60 minutes of racing here at the Circuit de la Sarthe. Of course, to the right, you can see a packed stand. Yeah. I think so. And is that going to be Durdude? Yeah, that's going to be Durdude, who's got the start, and Kristen Crow as well. The Supra, unfortunately, is good on pace, but not good off the line. And so we got 60 minutes of racing to be had. Oh, is that Durdude? Oh, Durdude's took it a bit too deep into the corner, and Kristen Crow will get that pole, will get that first lap, and Durdude. So let's. Oh, come on. Is that bar's gone off? Oh, it has. Yeah, Durdude. Oh, bar's gonna just throw the block, and Iapez. So side-by-side action between Kristen Crow and Death Spawns. Death Spawns has got it going. And Kristen Crow not gonna let that position go. But Death Spawns is gonna easily get that first place back after an abysmal start. Durdude and Bar still going at it. Yeah, that's one of the things about this course. The penalty system is absolutely brutal on this course. So Durdude, with the 5/10 penalty, has got to try and do something to get that position back. Yeah, Durdude at the moment is just going to nurse his teammate, just stick behind him as close as he can. Oh, and a big tank slapper for Durdude. And I think he's going to lose out on position-wise. Yes, he will. Bar. Oh, and the Corvette and the Aston Martin rivalry has been sparking up at Le Mans in the modern era in the GTE Pro category, and the same rivalry can be depicted here. Bar is going to get that third place back. And so Death Spawn's going to take it into the corner once again. Oh, Bar going a bit too deep. He's very, very much pushing indeed. Krista Crow, an absolute animal in the Aston Martin. Death Spawns, what can he do to fend off that position? Oh, look at Krista Crow! Not on the racing line, but he's trying to make something work. On board now with the Aston Martin driver. And Bar 27, look at the slipstream that he's carrying! Bar 27 in that Corvette was carrying a full steam ahead in that Chevrolet Corvette. Yes, he does. As a matter of fact, he does. Oh, and he's almost cut himself in the wall. So, we'll take a look at that again. I'm not sure why my keyboard is not working. Hang on. he going to force one up the inside? I thought he was. Oh, and this is absolutely insane racing here for a lot of these guys. Even though we only have 5 people, but that doesn't mean the action is not there. It is clearly there, and that's going to clearly be a penalty for bar 27 as he was very much cutting the corner. Oh, and there was contact, and that's a 1-second penalty for bar 27. And yeah, and Dirty. Oh, Dirty with the dive of the inside. He's made it stick. What a dive that was by Dirty. And Barr is doing an absolutely amazing job here at just pressurizing the leaders. Yeah, Dirty. Yeah, Despawns is just absolutely pulling the pace. That's one of the things about this car. It's very, very good on the straights, and there are certainly a lot of them here at Le Mans. So downforce kind of key, and top speed, if you have it, is key. So we're going to go back on Bar. Whoa! Bar 27 with the slipstream! Well, no, because he just got overtaken by Bar on literally straight line speed. No, it was straight line, it was slipstream, dude. Bar had a lot of speed going in. We'll go look back now at Dude. And that gap closing rapidly. Look at the difference, CJ. Look at the difference. Oh, he's taking a bit too much curbing, and I believe that's going to be another penalty coming in for Bar 27, and indeed it is a 5/10 penalty, of course. We'll go on board with Iapez, who unfortunately in this Renault package was hoping for something better, and he's hit the wall pretty hard. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm not sure what the issue with this, but I keep trying to do the replay function, but it's not really wanting to work, so I can only just go on and see who's who, but I can't really do the replay function. Right, Dirty up into second place now, catching death spawns slowly but surely. And what can he do? Of course, Toyota, of course, making this concept GTE car, but perfect for the GT Sport Group 3 category. So I like saying GT3 because obviously I don't think Group 3 is the right thing to say over a commentary. So, and Despawns, look at this right about here, trying to not give the slipstream away to Durdu, and Durdu is doing anything he can to stay within that slipstream. Oh, very wide Despawns in. Blows it by half a second, as a matter of fact, and this race for the lead. I think Despawns thought he was going to have his work cut out. Unfortunately, he might have stepped himself out on that one. Slowly but surely, we're going to go on board now with the Toyota Supra, and look at the speed difference through the corners. I think the Supra is very, very bad through the corners compared to the Aston Martin, and Despawns able to hold that one out through the Ford chicanes. And so a great, great battle going on between these two. Bar losing a bit too much to Durdude and the guys up in front. But the German, like I said, I think a bit too deep into the third corner, I'm pretty sure. We're on board hood view now with Dirtude. And so look at the speed difference. But I think that Supra is going to just pick up on straight line speed, and look at it. Even into the slipstream, that Supra is just quick. Yeah, he's really pulling away, as a matter of fact. Right, and so Death Spawn's still holding on to that first place. And Dirty losing a bit of time, I'm pretty sure. As a matter of fact, not really. So I don't think much was lost in the way of just trying to stay within arm's reach. He really is. So we'll take a second to pause. Oh, I think what you call it? I think Despons took a bit too much speed going into the corner, and so now this battle for the lead getting very, very tense indeed. Despons might be feeling a bit of pressure. In fact, there's another battle behind us. Bar27 and Kristen Crow. We'll go on board with this battle for a bit second, but I don't think Kristen Crow can really get past due to that Corvette straight line speed. Go back to this battle because it's too close to follow at the moment. Despawn's starting to feel the pressure a little bit from the guy behind, which is Dirty. And so what can he do to try and rather extend the gap in a way, if he can?
Absolutely indeed here. I am going to fix my settings right here because I'm getting from the stream that people are not able to hear me right now. I hope that I am trying to resolve the issue as I speak. And
so hang on. I was just able to briefly pause my microphone, and I was able to hear you just clearly through that through the live stream. So you're good now. So
okay.
Yeah. So you're fine. So that's good.
Okay.
Look at this battle still going on between Kristen Crow and Bar27 for the last spot on the podium. And so only 3 laps gone, but this is going to be insanely close for a lot of these guys.
Oh, Despon just pushed it a little too much there.
Oh, he still got it somehow. Wait, why is Dirtude? Oh, is that Despon's? Oh, this might be very, very intense indeed. But let's see what's going to happen.
Right now we've got Bar27 versus Kristen Crow and Despons versus Dirtude right now. It's going to be some nice pack battling here for first and for third. Despons just really pushing it, but so is Dirtude. They are really trying to get ahead of the edge of the other driver right here. What an incredible fight for the lead this is.
Yeah, an incredible fight for the lead right now. In fact, both guys having at least 1 to 1.2 second penalties at the moment. So these guys have got to clear these penalties out if they want to finish on a race on a clean slate. Oh, Despon's pushing a bit too hard into... Oh, frick. I don't know my Le Mans that well, so unfortunately I don't know every single corner in the book, which might make me look bad. But so...
Absolutely indeed right there. Despon sold the 1 second penalty, 1.2 second penalty, Bar with a 500 for the second penalty. Gives a go now. He just goes to the...
Oh, and I think that Bollard was just hit by Despons, and that's going to give him another further 5/10 on the penalty board. He's going to serve that penalty now, which is rather interesting. So he's slowly but surely going to serve this penalty because I think he can be able to outpace this Aston Martin on pure speed. So this is a very interesting tactic to do here, as a matter of fact.
So now Dirtude now is just trying to pull away here, but I think that Toyota Supra is going to somehow regain back in there with the speed that it has. But we know that the Aston Martin has better acceleration, but we do know that the Toyota does have better top speed right here. So this will be very interesting right here. Now, Third Dude just needs to have a consistent race, pull away, try to fend off that Toyota as much as he can right here.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's been a very, very long time coming since we've seen this Aston Martin win. As a matter of fact, it was round number 5 that we have seen this car seeing the top step of the podium. So it's had its early season success, but the consistency late in the midway through the season has really propelled it up in the Pro-Am standings right now, and its closest rival is Christopher Crowe by over 30-plus points behind in the standings. So at the moment, Dude has really nothing to worry about. It's just about keeping his nose clean at the right place at the right time, as a matter of fact.
It looked as if in the beginning of the straight right there that Dude was just pulling away, but now Despon is reeling him in the latter half of the straight here, going to Indianapolis corner right here.
Yeah, Despon has cleared that penalty board away from him, so he's got a clean slate to worry about. So he's got a clean slate. We'll go on board now with this. We'll go on board now with this battle of Bar 27 and Christopher Crowe. So the Corvette still in 3rd place. Christopher Crowe at the moment in P4.
Trying to wheel that Corvette in there. He's trying to do right now. Now this is kind of just opened up a little bit right here, but I think we should see these two just really start to slow down here a little bit right there.
Yeah, Bars just served a bit of his penalty going into the Porsche curve, so I don't think he's losing too much time, but he is slowly but surely serving that penalties as it goes on. Dude's still that 1.2 second penalty at the moment. 2.9 seconds is the gap, so the cornering capabilities of this Aston Martin is what makes it so strong at Le Mans, but that top speed is going to come into account, and Christopher Crowe, I'm pretty sure, has just taken P3 away. Barr is actually going to come into the pits this time by, so a potential 3-stop on the board here for Bar 27.
Absolutely, indeed, right there. We'll see what he grabs right here. Looks like he's going to get some.
And it's going to be a fuel-only stop, so that's very interesting from Bar 27. You don't see a lot of drivers making fuel-only stops within this GT3 championship, so we're going to see how this strategy plays a part.
He's trying to double step those tires right there is what he's trying to do right there.
And there's Iapes in 5th. Of course, he will take what he can get.
Despon has just picked up a 1-second penalty.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, he must have cut a corner pretty significantly, and all of a sudden he's just back to square one in terms of penalties.
Now, looks like the favor of this race right now looks to be in the favor of Dude right now, who, even though he still has a 1.2 second penalty, is going to give him some breathing room over that Toyota there with a 1 second penalty right there. So now it's just going to be a matter of trying to hold him off. But what Dude could do is that he could clear his penalties, and he'd still be fine, probably still kind of fight his way through first, maybe get behind the Toyota. But now he's just going to try and put pressure on the Toyota. He now has a 1 second penalty, and see if he can try and endure him to see if he can get some more room, some more breathing room for this race right here. So I think Dude has a better chance of this race going his way for right now, but we will see what happens in the later half of this race.
Yeah, I think the very interesting thing that we got to talk about right now is how to manage these penalties, because this course is very brutal on the penalty system here, and of course you don't want to get penalized and you want to keep going at the best way that you can. And so Dude doing a good job of that penalty work at the moment. However, Despons, he's not far from out, but these guys have to come in for their first stop at the end of this lap.
The top 3 are going to have to come in for fuel, it seems. So they're all under a quarter of a tank right here. Despons clearly has the least amount of fuel in his tank right here, so it seems with the penalty that he's got, I think Dude's going to have the edge over him in the pit stop right here, because Third dude's going to open the gap just a little bit more coming out the pits right here, but we can see where this goes right here.
And I believe death spawns, like you said, it takes more. It's higher up in top speed that Aston Martin's good in the corners, but that Toyota Supra needs a lot more fuel, despite it being pretty much using 1 bar of boost from that turbo. So that's very unusual.
Absolutely, indeed, right there. Dirt Dude now just trying to hold it off as much as he can right here. Going to the Porsche curves right now. Nice clean corner on entry.
Yeah, Dirt Dude obviously going to come into the pits at this time by, for a fact.
I don't think Despot's going to make it on fuel. He may be having a fuel save right here. Actually, no, he'll make it.
Yeah, he's very close on that fuel. And so this is where the pit game comes into play. So, pit stops galore coming in now. First place coming in. There is second place. And so, Dirt Dude will be first on in. And so, Chris the Crow as well will be coming into the pits this time by. So, both Aston Martins into the pits.
Chris the Crow is going to probably gain just a little bit on death spawns right here for second place right here, but he's going to definitely
a little bit, yes.
And this will be all fuels for these. And Chris the Crow is actually going to take another set of Michelin tires right here for the pit stop, so he's going to try and shorten this gap right here, but he doesn't need as much fuel right here, but he's definitely going to have the edge on the tire wear here. And Barr is going to take the lead now. Oh, excuse me, never mind. Third dude is going to make his way out of the pit stop. Despot's going to follow, and Barr's going to be right behind him third.
Yeah, I don't think that tire choice of electing to take the race and not change the tires in that pit stop wasn't the brightest things to do, but I am still inclined to see where this strategy is going to go, as a matter of fact, because I think he's just trying to save time, because I think he knows he has to make 3 stops due to the fuel consumption of that Corvette.
Iapez in the pits, also taking fuel, and that Renault RSR1 GT3 right there. As he comes out of the pit right here, he's actually been conserving his tires a little bit, actually. They're not as worn as,
which driver?
Iapez.
Iapez is on worn tires. Yeah, he's not taking tires. Oh, but he's gone way too deep into the corner, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So he saved that. And so this Renault, unfortunately, not doing himself very well, but he's going to do the best that he can.
And it looks like this is going to be an interesting fight. Oh, the top two, actually, they took tires as well.
Yeah, top 2 did take tires, which was kind of expected, because the tire wear, you always want to be on an advantage that you can on those newer tires.
So now both these drivers have similar penalties here. Third group has an 8/10 of a second penalty, with Despon having a 9/10 of a second penalty, and he is going to close the gap here going to the second chicane right here. Draft was just carrying him in there. Durdu trying to take it nice and easy throughout this corner here. Get the better acceleration out of the corners here. Durdu's just going to try and cancel his penalties and give that lead back to Despons. And Despons now is just going to try and take the penalty as well.
Yeah, it looked like Despot. Yeah, both drivers looks like they're gonna. Yeah, it looks like both drivers have cleared their penalties. So this is a clear penalty game going on forward in this race now. Durdu moves over right, then moves over left to get himself ready for the next corner. And it looks like they both took a bit too much momentum going to the corner. Despot's. He's gone into the wall.
He's just gone off. And that's going to really open the door for Durdu now, as he takes a deep breath of sigh of relief right there for Durdu. That was the moment that he needed right there for that Twitter to make a mistake right there, and he's just gained a healthy 2-second lead right there, going down into the Indianapolis corner.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is pretty much even out first through third now, because Bar 27 did not take tires on that first stop, even though he pitted 1 lap earlier than the top 2 at the moment. Despon's getting into the gravel trap. He knows he's pressured. He's got to calm himself down if he wants any chance of trying to get close back up to the Aston Martin.
Absolutely, indeed, right there. Durdu, that was the break that he needed right there. for that trailer to make a mistake right there, and it's cost him dearly right there.
Yeah, it's cost him a lot. Go ahead.
Barr's now out of the picture too. He's got his way. He's kind of found his way back into this fight just a little bit, but he's still 3.5 seconds behind Deathspawn right there. And Chris the Crow just trying to hold it off as much as he can right there.
And so, at the moment, if things stand as they are, I think we're pretty much going to see a close battle going on towards the end of the field. At the moment, we'll take you on board for a lap in the... And a blue flag? No, that doesn't make any sense to me. We'll take you on board now with a lap of Le Mans with the championship-leading Dirtude in the 14 Aston Martin. So we'll get you guys a bit of breathing time to take a moment, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of Le Mans. And so that was the sights and sounds of Le Mans courtesy of Dirtude in the number 14 championship leading Aston Martin V12 Vantage GT3. And so, SD, my bride, I still hope you're awake with us, of course.
I am certainly, most certainly here indeed right here. I was just looking through the helmet
Oh,
cam.
I thought Dirtude was going to put a foot wrong and, of course, spin that Aston Martin around. I'm kind of glad that he did not, but he's caught it very, very well. Death spawns, the gap all of a sudden from the last lap to this lap, 1.3-ish seconds. So, Death spawns has still been in hot pursuit, but he's not put a foot wrong, and he's still keeping an arm's length at that Aston Martin. What about this about? Yeah, at the moment, Bar 27 is still going at it with the Corvette. And so, Bar gonna have to think about pitting soon, probably. We'll go about back with this battle here, as a matter of fact. And so, Dirtude still doing a good job at holding off that first place. Death spawns still, like I said, within arm's reach, but not entirely out of it. So there you see Death spawns in the Toyota Supra.
He's just shaving that gap down.
Oh, Dirtude! He's put a foot wrong, and now all of a sudden we've got a race going.
He's put a foot wrong, got the car out of shape here, coming out of the second chicane right there. That really gave the door open for Deathspawn to take that lead back right here.
Yeah, that was a very, very costly moment by Dirtude. And so Dirtude got to think of another way to get back at this Toyota Supra. And so a massive tank slapper decides going to defend. And we're looking forward to see what is going to happen by Indianapolis and by the end of the lap. But we've got 29 minutes to go left in this race.
Dirtude now is just trying to find anything he can, but that Toyota Supra just pulls away in the straight line right there. And I was just looking up Deathspawn's lap times right here, and now he's just 8/10 faster than his fastest lap on this lap than he was the previous lap right here. Oh,
really a terrible exit out of the Indianapolis for Dirtude, so he might be starting to think about the pressure getting to him maybe. So Dirtude, I think Dirtude had a massive tank slapper right there, and he had to absolutely, I'd say, close to full wheel lock that. We'll find out if his driver's seat has a brown spot on it after the race. And when we do our live interviews, and also as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, for the top three, we'll bring in our podium finishers at the end of this race and for the pro race. And we will have interviews to get a chance to hear from the drivers who have done so well in these races. And we've done so in the past. Unfortunately, every single driver was not interviewed, but we do the best that we can to try and get our interviews in the way that we can, of course.
Absolutely, indeed, right here. Dirtude now just trying to find anything he can, any form of real estate that he can get back up there to that Toyota right there. Like I said, the Aston Martin's better in the corners, but that Toyota just pulls away in a straight line speed. That's exactly what he needs in order to negotiate more time on this Aston Martin right here.
Yeah, Despons has played this very, very well. Dirtude, on the other hand, he's had a good day. He just knows how to execute it. He's just got to figure out the way to get back up there. As we go back, as that battle's going on, we're going to go with the Corvette of Bar 27, who will make his second stop, and I think his second of third stop. So he'll probably have to make one more stop than the guys ahead of him. And I think he's going to put full fuel in that tank, and I think it's just going to try and coast the car to the end. I'm not 100% sure, but we will keep an eye out for that as well. That Spawn's still leading the way. And this battle is very, very close.
Yeah, in the beginning of the straight, the Aston Martin reels him in, but at the top speed, at the end of the straight, the Toyota just pulls away. That's the form of real estate that he needs right there.
Oh, and Despons Despons has a 5/10 penalty. Now it's a 1 second penalty.
This is not going to help him well. He's got to really play this out right now. Now the favor's going to the Derby now. What's he going to do here? Once Despon takes that penalty off right there.
So not all is lost for the 14. Aston Martin of Derby, the German. So we'll take a look and see how he's going to go about this.
They're both pushing extremely hard right here.
They are both extremely pushing. Despons was able to get a gap between 1.3 seconds, but that slipstream going to slowly start get those two together once again, but not by much. They are still close, but it's too close in my opinion to make any close calls on who is going to win this race, obviously.
I'm just going to comment about Despon right here.
Oh, he's been a good bit too much, as well as Derdude! And I think the pressure, I think these guys are literally on fine ice, and they're literally like thinning fine threads at the moment. I think I said thinning, I meant to say threading fine threads at the moment.
Despon is just trying to get away from that Aston Martin, and then Derdude is just trying to get to that Toyota. This is racing. This is amazing.
And who said 5 cars were bad enough? Duh, we can only get away with...
Despon's just pushed it wide again.
Has he? Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has.
He's down to 6/10 of a penalty right now.
I was on board with Iapez for a second because I thought he put it around for a second. He didn't, but he was able to get back going.
Let me go back to this battle right here, on my end right here. These two still pushing each other to their absolute limits right here. These guys may have one more lap of fuel in their cars right here. If not, they definitely have to take a stop right here. They know they can get to. They know they can push it from here, but if they go one more lap, it's gonna be questionable. And Derdude's going a little wide right there.
You noticed that Derdude going a bit wide, and I don't think that's going to be enough to thwart a penalty. Oh, here's something interesting. Despons is going to go into the pits, but Derdude is going to stay out. So this is what we came to see, ladies and gentlemen. A very, very interesting split strategy here. So Despons going to come in for what appears to be, and what looks like will be his final stop. I think he could have made it on fuel for this lap, but Derdude, we will see. Excuse me. We will see what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah, Christopher Crow going to come out in second place now across the line. Despons is going to come on out just ahead of that Aston Martin of Christopher Crow. And so Despons gets from one Aston Martin to the next, so he just can't seem to escape battling these Aston Martins at the moment.
Yeah, even though Despons is on newer tires and more fuel, Chris Crow is on just slightly worn tires, but he's got way less fuel in that tank right there. So I think Chris Crow is actually going to try and slipstream him a little bit, and he may get around this Toyota, but we'll see here.
Yeah, we're going to take a look now. Christopher Crow, he's not been on the podium much this season, so this would be a good day for him if he is able to get one up. As a matter of fact, he's only finished up on the podium 50% of the season, so another podium's finish, to his credit, would be very, very well if he is able to do it, of course.
Christopher Crow is actually really in that Toyota right there.
And also another race win for, was that Despons getting a penalty? Yes, it was, as a matter of fact. Another penalty. So, not good news for Despons, who has got to try and clear these penalties. As a matter of fact, let's check on Derdude. He's got a 5/10 penalty now.
Meanwhile, Christopher Crow has no penalty.
Christopher Crow with 0 penalty, of course, yes. So,
Oh, Krista Crow's pushed a little wide there.
So Dude, pretty much on his own, but at the moment, he's got that 5/10 penalty, and plus he does have to make that extra pit stop, so this is going to benefit him in the way for overcutting. Despot's tried the undercut. Let's see how that's going to go. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go, but I'm very intrigued. He pushes a bit too deep into the right-hander, but somehow is able to keep that one in a straight line.
In which we don't know the names of all these corners.
Sorry, Europeans.
Especially the French.
Yeah, apparently there aren't any...
Durdude is going to clear that penalty up right there. So now Durdude is going to have to come in this time by. And he's right now got a comfortable 24, going down actually, 24-second lead over Despons, who now has a 6/10 penalty right there. Krista Crow still putting the pressure on, but Krista Crow is going to have to make another pit stop here.
Yeah, I think Krista Crow is going to try and be the wingman to Durdude and try and be a pressuring Despons a little bit, because I think Despons has the audacity to win this race. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how Durdude can go about it for this pit stop. As a matter of fact, he will be pitting this time by, no questions asked. And Durdude and Despons have had pretty much not perfect races, but it's been very, very exceedingly well for all of these guys. And we're just getting into that final phase of the race where pit stops are going to matter a lot, and race strategy as well. As a matter of fact, Durdude is going to only take fuel this stop. So that's very interesting, as a matter of fact, from the German. Krista Crow will come in. Despons will come across the line, and Durdude is just going to come out of the pits. So this is very interesting. Despot's going to get that first place if he can get it on the inside, and he does, side by side, going into the second corner, into the first hairpin. Oh! Both of them were side by side. Now this is side by side. This is insane racing. My voice is getting high pitched, but I don't care. Despot's going to send it.
He's going to throw on the inside. That's Durdude's no. He has to get in front of the Toyota for this straight right here. Otherwise, it is going to be a game over fight for Durdude right here.
So get this. Despons is at just under 3/4 of a tank full tire wear. Durdude, full tank of fuel, but no tires. This is going to get very interesting indeed.
I think, and even with the 3/4 fuel tank, it doesn't make a difference. Despon is going to pull away indeed right here. But let's see here what Durdude can do here.
And here's another interesting development here. Bar 27 has actually gotten past the Aston Martin of Krista Crow, but I'm pretty sure Bar 27 is going to have to make one last stop, because I don't think he's going to make it on fuel with 17 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock.
Absolutely not indeed right there. I know Krista Crow, for sure, I think is going to make it on this last stint right here, to the checkered flag right here.
And so,
however, we don't know if he'll make it.
Despons took a bit too deep. Oh, a big time slapper from Despons.
These two are fighting extremely hard. They're pushing their cars to the absolute limit. They know that this last stint is going to matter in the long haul. With 17 minutes of this race left to go here, and this battle is just getting started.
I wouldn't say getting started. I think it's just at its peak right about now. I'm pretty sure. Oh, they're both gonna. I think. Yeah. I think Despons took a bit too much. Yeah, Despons just absolutely doing everything that he can to try and break up the toe from that Aston Martin, because I think he knows he can easily get away from the guy behind. Look at this right about here.
Absolutely.
Despons is giving Durdude an absolutely hard time here. And it's just Supra versus Aston Martin V12 versus twin turbo V6, I think.
I think it was it's a turbocharged 6-cylinder. So
I know it's a turbocharged 6-cylinder. I think it's a twin turbo V6.
No, I don't think it's twin turbo. I think
turbo? I think it's single. Single turbo.
And yeah, I'm getting some communication issues right as of now. So excuse me if excuse me if I sound a little laggy on my end right here. But we're gonna continue forth on with this battle.
Oh, Despot's throwing it in!
He's pushed it wide! He's opened the door!
Oh, Dude is gonna be absolutely on him, and he's through! Oh, he didn't lose too much time, but he's still right there. That was an absolutely gut-wrenching moment for Despawns, I bet. But
absolutely,
you got to take into consideration first place, worse tire wear than second place.
Mad here from this Toyota right here. The Toyota knows he's got less fuel in the tank, but I think their dude can do this if he somehow survives in the long haul.
Oh, and Despawns is gonna try it. Oh, he's punching him! He's hit him!
Pushed him off. Oh, but he knows he's gonna get.
He's not gonna overtake. He took, I was on bumper cam for that one. He took a bit too much speed going into the corner, and I don't think he had anywhere to go. But yeah, so no penalty there, so he's good. But so Dude just gonna keep that first place. This is where things are gonna get interesting for these top two, as the Mulsanne Straight is gonna dictate a lot of things right about now. Who's gonna get the slipstream game? We'll go on board now with the Supra of Despawn.
Despawn's got a huge run. Despawn's got a huge run.
Yeah, Dude's gonna have nothing for that. Yeah, Dude's gonna have nothing for that Aston Martin, or I should say that Toyota Supra, and he's just gonna absolutely clear him with no problem whatsoever on this straightaway. Oh, but Despawn's took a bit too much into the corner.
He's put too much in the corner.
Despawn's takes a bit too much. And so we're back to square one here, as a matter of fact.
So now what would have been a pass for the lead right there.
All of a sudden, Despawns takes a bit too much speed. I think he just didn't take into consideration how much speed he was taking into that corner. So now the gap now 1.5 seconds between these guys, and just slowly diminishing. Dude, not much on tire wear. This is either going to be a decision that's either going to make or break Dude's win by taking no tires.
I think he could do it. It's just a matter of Despawns if he can make it on fuel or not. I think Dude has the fuel to make it. It's just a matter of Despawn does. Very risky decisions by either driver. So they're really pushing each other, and they're really testing each other to see what their limits are here.
Ipez will come in for his final stop of the day. So we'll go on board with him. The new Michelin slicks going on that car.
Still watching this battle right here.
Yep, we're going to go back on to this battle between Dude and Despawns. Still, once again, just nowhere to be seen of breaking it on up. Oh, this is going to be interesting here. How will Despawns go about this going into Indianapolis? Is he going to try and force up to the inside? He's going to force up the inside, and he's going to easily take that first place away. But he's got to get the car slowed down in time. You can't throw it away just like that. Oh, and just like that, he took a bit too much speed going to the corner. Going to defend onto the inside now. No, as a matter of fact, he's going to stick to the racing line. Dude going to stay close behind. But this has been absolutely amazing work, and just a 1v1 of the ages for the race win here, of course.
11 minutes in this, 12 minutes of this race left to go, so by my calculations here, we should have at least 3 more laps of this race, if my math is correct here.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty bold number if you ask me, so 3 more laps next time by. So we'll get the third to last lap here, and this tire wear and the tire wear for the Toyota Supra coming in clutch now all of a sudden. And as a matter of fact, a 1 second penalty for death spots. So just like that, the penalty system gonna reel Dirty in as the penalties are gonna be served.
Third dude take a little bit too much momentum into the break with the field right there.
And so
close here on that. Still staying close there.
He's got it down to 9/10 now, 9/10 of a second now, so not sure what's gonna happen here.
Third dude's just pushing it right there.
And there it is, bar 27 gonna make his third and final stop of the day. He's gonna relinquish that third place to Chris the Crow. And I imagine this will be just for fuel. It will be just for fuel for bar 27. And so the Corvette, which did a very, very good job for the most part here today. He's going to come home P4, but he will take what he can get within this championship, so.
Just occurring down there, 4/10 penalty right there. Going through the S's before heading on almost on straight right there.
And that spot, took a bit too deep going into the corner, but he somehow still stopped it. But the gap now, 2.5 seconds. How has Dirty lost so much time? And I think it might be because that tire wear.
It's either that tire wear or that fuel that he's got. But right now, Dirty is only at half a tank of fuel.
And Despons is only at just under a quarter of a tank, so Despons.
I think either of these guys are going to have to pit again for fuel. I think either of these guys are going to have to pit again.
Dirty might be okay. It is Death Spawns I might be a bit concerned with.
Yeah, I think the fuel for Death Spawn. I think Death Spawn's going to have to make a pit this lap or the next lap for fuel in the tank right here, and hope that the speed of that Toyota can get back up to Dirty right there. But I don't know. It's going to be really close here. Oh, stick done.
Oh my God, Dirty! Not Dirty. Despons just spun it out again.
I just lost my voice there when he did that. I could not talk for a second.
You know what I'm saying? I think I heard you start speaking something, then all of a sudden it just went away.
I was like.
I heard like a.
My apologies for that. Let's get back to this battle.
The funny thing is, it's gonna be on stream forever. It's gonna be another one of those. It's gonna be another one of those things where it's just like, oh, another funny moment.
Oh,
it's not going to be as good as that everyone goes wide moment in the Mazda races.
Oh. Gosh. Right, back to this battle right now. Cesspons with a 1.3 second penalty right here. I do not think he's going to make it on another lap of fuel here, but I think he may push his luck here, but we will find out once he gets to the pits.
This will be interesting. As a matter of fact, Dirty did not take tires this lap, but these tires are absolutely shot on that Aston Martin. So those Pirellis, I think, are at the end of their life cycle, and I think Dirty is just going to absolutely take it easy on a course that is so difficult to get right in the racing line. He's got the 5/10 penalty now, as a matter of fact, 1.3 seconds for Dirty, and Death Spawns will come into the pits. He will come into the pits. So knowing he underfueled, he had a great strategy going forward. He just underfueled, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, either that or he pitted too early, or whatever the case may be. We'll see what he does here.
And it will be just fuel for the Toyota Supra. And it was a great race for him, as a matter of fact. And unfortunately, I think it just went away from him with just about 6 minutes-ish to go, just under 7 minutes to go. And now it is catch-up time for Death Spawns. And if he's able to make this work, that would be an absolutely amazing race victory for him if he's able to get one going.
Yeah,
But Dirdude is on absolute... Yeah, Dirdude is on absolutely worn tires. Purple Sector 1, as a matter of fact. If he can keep his nose clean, that would be very, very good for him.
Oh, he's picked up a 0.4 of a second.
No, that 0.4 penalty was there. It's okay.
Oh.
So, yeah, you are good.
Back to the broadcast. So now, and Deathspawn just picked up another half a second of penalty.
Yeah, Deathspawn is absolutely pushing in any way he can to try and get up there to the 14.
So now we're just watching Dirdude now in this advantage, trying to see if he can hold on, because I think he may have enough fuel here for these last 2 laps here. But we will see once time comes around here. Going through the second chicane, no pressure at all. Still got a comfortable 10.5 second lead over Deathspawn right here. And now he's 1.4 seconds slower than his fastest time right here. He knows that this is a game of survival now. With 5 minutes on the clock right now. He's really running down here.
So yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, 5 minutes confirmed from SDM Viper, the side commentator. Dirdude gonna serve this penalty now, so he doesn't have anything to worry about. That's gonna allow Despawns to get close up a little bit. Despawns, he served a bit of that penalty going to the corner, but he took a bit too much going into the corners as well. So, and look at the gap now, CJ. From the start of this lap, it was about 10 to 11 seconds. It's now 8.7 seconds. So Despawns is absolutely closing in on Dirdude now.
He's on a tear right here, but we'll see if it'll be enough for this last time by here.
Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, there is another lap as well. So it's going to be this lap and one more. So I am very intrigued to see how this is going to shape up for the end of this race as well. 7 seconds now is the gap. So Dirdude just taking his sweet time at the moment, and Despawns on an absolute tear right about now. 7.8 seconds now, 2.3-ish seconds gap, just chopped within about 3/4 of a lap.
I would agree on that.
So yeah, I think Despawns, if he can wish for a little bit of a miracle to come his way, it would have to happen right about now, as a matter of fact. And if not, then this would give Dirdude, who's been wanting to stand on those top step of the podium for a very long time, and as a matter of fact, since round 5 of the season, and will continue his further podium streak of podium appearances in the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Pro Am Championship.
White flag is out.
Yep.
For the leader.
And there is Despawns in the background. 7-ish seconds to go. And these straightaways are going to be an absolute question mark for Despawns to see how he can do it on this final lap.
Dirdude's just picked up another penalty somewhere.
Yes, he has. 0.4 of a second penalty. Despawns has got a 1.5 second penalty.
Oh, he's just gone wide again.
Has he gone wide?
He's just gone wide through the chicane under the Dunlop Bridge. Still a 1.5 second penalty. Is Dirdude going to have enough fuel to make it?
Yes, he will on this final lap. So now I've just realized what the name of this corner is. As Despawns goes to it now and goes through it, it's Tetra Rouge. Yeah, I just remember that. Sorry, every European who's watching. We've had a massive brain fart for the last 58 minutes.
Yes.
And so we're just coming to the end of the race here. Dirdude doing a good job. Still trying to hang on, pretty much just hang on for his dear life at the moment. Because it looked like a close race between Despawns and Dirdude, but Dirdude pulling out all the stops now. 5.96 seconds gap now between the two.
This is going to be a very interesting battle here.
Elliot was kind enough to send me a...
It's close. It's going to be very close to Dirty right here. It's going to be very close if he makes it on fuel. He may thread the needle, but we'll just see right here.
Yeah, so we've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. And so I'm very... You know what?
I don't know. This is going to be very...
No, they're going to finish this lap. I know it, so... As a matter of fact, will iPez have enough to do another lap? Yes, he will. The iPez will have another lap to do as well, so he will be able to finish on the lead lap. Oh, and the V12 screaming in the background, of course. Death Spawn's still trying to find some lost time. Oh, Death Spawn's has gone sideways. He had an absolute... Yeah, he had an absolute tank slapper, but the gap now rising up, and I think that is going to do it for Dirdude and for Death Spawn. The Death Spawn battle with Dirdude. God, my English is terrible.
Dirdude is fuel saving, I think. He's definitely fuel saving.
And I think he's trying to clear off that penalty as well at the same time. And that would be a good time to clear that penalty. Yeah, Dirdude is rad. Look at that last lap. 3:57, 4:02, 4 minutes and 4:02. So Dirdude has been fuel saving a fair bit.
Right,
and like I said, go ahead.
The clock has run out, so this will be the final lap here of this race right here. Dirdude now just hanging on for dear life now, just trying to get to that car to the end right here. Get to the top spot. The Death Spawns now, he just picked up another couple tenths, 1.8 seconds penalty right there.
And so we'll go back up to the front of the field now. It's been a very, very dicey battle. It looked like it was going to be looked like to be a 1v1 duel. We certainly got that, but at the end, it was the one who could not make the mistakes. He made some very, very dicey calls for this race. He's going to clear the penalty now, as a matter of fact, so this is going to be close, but it's not going to matter as much as it's going to be the German Dirdude, who the championship leader, will take home another race win here today as Death Spawn finishes right behind him. 1.8 seconds to gap at the line, so a very good comeback indeed for Death Spawns, but it has been a very long time coming for Dirdude, who finally gets another race win under his belt and continues that continuing podium streak as well. Chris Crow now coming to the line. A solid P3 finish for him, and he'll take the points that he will get. What a race for him, and he will take home third place. Bar 27 now. He looked very strong in the race early on, but unfortunately, I think as the race went on, strategy was kind of against his side, fuel-wise as well and tire-wise as well. But he will take home what he can get, and Bar 27 will come home for fourth place. And what a day for him as well. iPez now the last remaining guy on the track. And he will get the opportunity to finish this race as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Not the strongest day that he's wanted, but he showed that he didn't give up, and he will take his name up into the championship standings here, trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, like I said, he never gave up, which is a very, very great thing for sim races, obviously. Obviously, when most people don't have good races, the first thing usually people do is just when they don't have good races is they leave. Iapez is one of the few guys who, he doesn't have the best days, of course, behind the box office, but he's here to race, he's here to get the laps under his belt, and, well, he almost hit himself into the wall right there. He never gives up, and he's always wanting to push, and he's a very, very thrilling guy to race with, obviously. He joined midway through this season. He raced with the Audi, and he's raced now with the Renault. The Renault, in my opinion, not a better chassis, but if it betters iPez better, then that's his choice to make. And he's just one of those guys who never gives up, obviously.
absolutely indeed. Quite a young starter driver. Gained a lot of respect in the garages. And as he makes his way out of the Porsche curves right there, coming out to the final set of corners here of this race right here, which will be the last of all the drivers right here, going through the Ford curves.
Ford chicane.
Yes, Ford chicane. as you correct me right here, and Iapez will take home 5th place. Solid day for that driver, despite the finish.
And your Pro-Am winner, Durdude, who it's been a very long time to see him on the top step of the podium, but he's finally got it at the pinnacle of motorsport, Le Mans of sports car racing, which is Le Mans. Started 2nd place and got the elusive race win. So we'll go to the race results now. Durdude getting that win right there, and we will get our podium finishers into the party as well. So very, very interesting regardless. I'd say regardless of the situation with being a lack of entries, it was still very entertaining for me, especially as the lead commentator as well. So
yeah, honestly, that race really did come down to strategy, in my opinion. But I think Durdude was the better man, and he held on way longer. But Despot's the faster car, but Durdude just with the strategy came out on top in today's race.
And so we are still awaiting our elusive podium finishers to join the party. And as a matter of fact, we do have one of them in the party as well, in the hands of Death Spawns. And Death Spawns, I do imagine you can hear me, of course. All right, Death Spawns will commemorate with the interviews. So, Death Spawns, you put in a very, very fast lap in qualifying. And of course, you got the fastest lap of the race. So that's an extra bonus point for you as well. You looked like you were set to take your first win of the season, but unfortunately, I think you underfilled on that second to last stop. So, and unfortunately, I think you can only settle for P2. Tell us about your race.
Keep a lead, go forward, and possibly race nicely, just keep it nice and cool. But Durdude he's just stuck on me, man, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, I got a little lead on him, and I thought, okay, maybe I can do this, push, and then every time I pushed, something would happen, and then he catches me, and I'm like, oh no. And then coming to I think lap 10 or so, I needed to pit because I saw there was like less than a lap on the field, so I thought, okay, now I'll fuel up and come back on, and I think that was my major flaw right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like the fuel of the Supra, it's very good on the straights, but it needs a lot more fuel than the Vantage does on the straights to be able to remain competitive in a straight line. Was there anything in that race you could have done differently to hopefully try and get a race win, obviously?
I think what I should have focused on was fuel consumption, like the lean, trying to change it up a little bit, especially on the straights, get to the top speed and then sort of set the settings so that I could be able to maintain the fuel. But I think I was just trying to be a rocket and fly through everything, and yeah.
Yeah, I think you did yourself very well regardless of the situation. Of course, being your second race, I believe, in the Straight Line Motorsports GT3 Championship, and you've already come out with a podium as well. So I myself don't have any more questions. Esting Viper, I do imagine you have a couple questions to ask for Death Spawn.
Yeah, Death Spawn, can you hear me here?
I certainly can, although I can hear two voices there.
Well, because we're twins, obviously, so.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. I can hear your voice echoing in my headphones as well, so. I just have one question here for you. Great race, and I'm hearing my own voice in the background. So, what could you take from this race and propel it into the championship standings and try to learn from what you did today? And yeah.
Yeah. So from my beginning, yes, this is my second race. My first one was was on Red Bull Ring with the with the horrible conditions. But from today's race, I've gathered that I need to work on the track more often. I didn't have a lot of time, but with the time that I did have, I tried to nail as much time in the track so that I could try and get the like the podium and qualification, qualified position. But there was also a little bit of I think braking late. For instance, I think on turn 2, I braked too late and went into the back of Dude, and I was like thinking, oh geez, this is horrible. I need to kind of focus on working a bit more time into the tracks that we go to, and remaining calm.
Absolutely, indeed. That's all I have in terms of questions here. Art, do you have any more questions for our second place finisher today?
I do not have any more questions, but if there are more people that have joined the party, it doesn't appear that Dude nor Krista Crow have joined the party, unfortunately, but we will cut the stream, of course, and get ready for our pro broadcast as well. But Despot's a good P2 for you as well. SC Viper, thank you for joining in as well. And, of course, myself, SC_RGZ. Congrats to everyone who finished Dirty Despons, Chris Crow for taking the top 3 spots on the podium. And we will quickly get underway for our pro broadcast as well. And, of course, I have been the host and commentator for today's race, SC_RGZ with SC Viper. And we'll see you guys in a few minutes for the pro broadcast.